Hi, I'm Brandon Grant, Marketing Director here at QuoteWerks. In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to use the QuoteWerks Quote Importer to import an HP iQuote into QuoteWerks. To do this, you'll simply need to have your HP iQuote available and also have the QuoteWerks Quote Importer installed. We'll walk through on how to check to see if you already have the Quote Importer installed or where to get it if it is not installed as of yet. So let's get started. To begin, let's go ahead and open up QuoteWerks and then click on your Tools menu. Scroll down about 3/4 of the way and you should see the Quote Importer option. If you don't see this option in your installation, that means you need to download and install the Quote Importer for QuoteWerks. To do this, we simply need to go to the QuoteWerks website. Open up your web browser and go to the QuoteWerks homepage. At the top, you'll see the various menu options. Hover over integrations and scroll down to vendors and distributors. Once you click on that, on the right hand side you should see the QuoteWerks and HP iQuote option. Click on that and that will bring you to the Quote Importer homepage. On the left hand side you should see the link to download the Quote Importer. Go ahead and click on that and that'll begin the download. Once it finishes downloading, simply run the installation file and that will install the Quote Importer in your QuoteWerks installation. If you go back to QuoteWerks, click on your Tools menu, and then your Quote Importer option should be available. If you don't see it's available, simply close QuoteWerks and restart, and then it should be available to you. Once the Quote Importer is installed, go ahead and click on it to open the Quote Importer window. When you open the Quote Importer, you'll see it'll default you to the Getting Started tab. You'll see there are 3 methods for importing a quote into the Quote Importer and then into QuoteWerks. We can copy and paste the text, which is the recommended option because it's simply the fastest. You can open the file to import it directly from the file location, and then you can also drag and drop the file into the Drag a Quote Here section up at the top. For our example, we're just going to go ahead and paste from the clipboard. So with my text copied to my clipboard, I'm simply going to choose Paste from Clipboard, and you'll see a confirmation that your HP iQuote was processed. You'll also see it brings us to the HP iQuote Importer tab. Now before I bring this quote into QuoteWerks, there's a couple options for me that I can change. The first being the vendor. If you want to set the vendor as yourself instead of HP or Hewlett Packard that's set, you can adjust that by typing in your vendor name here. The other 2 options is if you want to use the description text and add it to the custom memo field. A lot of times with the HP quotes, you might have additional text that you want to include with the customer facing description, and you can add that to the custom memo 01 field in QuoteWerks, which allows for those secondary type descriptions. The other option is the class. If you want the class information to come into QuoteWerks as well, you can have it come into the item type field, which would be like the category field in QuoteWerks. There's also other options if you click on the drop down, but the item type is the most common. Additionally, if you didn't have your HP quote available to you to copy and paste or to drag and drop, you can actually retrieve the HPI quote with your email and your quote ID, putting your email address in here, putting your quote ID, choosing download quote, and then it'll import it into the Quote Importer for you. Since we already have ours, all we need to do is simply click on import. Once completed, if you click back over to QuoteWerks, you'll see all of the line item information from the quote pulled directly into your quote. This will allow you to then make any changes to the document as needed. So if you need to adjust an item's quantity, description, cost, price, unit list, really any changes you need to make to the document, you'll be able to do so here. It's now a QuoteWerks quote and you can treat it as such and make any adjustments that you need. You can continue this process as many times as you need. So if you have another quote that needs to be imported into QuoteWerks from HP, you can simply grab another quote, copy the data to your clipboard. We want to clear that quote out, paste the data, choose import, and it'll quickly add that information into our document. So this is a great way to use those vendor quotes that you receive from HP and quickly pull them into QuoteWerks without having to manually type that information directly in here. For more information on the Quote Importer, check out the QuoteWerks Quote Importer page on the website, or feel free to give us a call or send us an email. Thanks for watching.